Thanks for checking out this video. So this video is a very special one. So today I'm gonna do something a little different. Today is actually my birthday. So I've been reflecting on some things, looking back at my life, trying to think, reflect on some of the things that have provided the most value in my life, some of the lessons that I've learned, and what can I do, what can I apply that I've learned so far in the next 39 years to make those even better. So I wanted to share some of the reflections that I came up with, share some of the best lessons that I've learned and what I'm going to apply, and maybe this will help you, maybe it'll give you some ideas on things that you can do in your life. Of course, if you have any suggestions, if you have any comments or recommendations, I'd love to hear them as well. So these are the fundamentals of what I've learned that have made the biggest impact on my life, which I'll be able to leverage for the next 39 years. First thing is just taking this time to reflect, looking back at what has transpired in the last year, in the last couple of years, or even the last week, the last month. What has transpired? What have we learned? What can we change in the future? What worked well? What do we want to keep doing? Because when we do this, we can make refinements in our actions. We can make refinements in the way that we're showing up in our life. And as we kind of fine tune that or dial that in, then we can continue to enjoy greater success, greater fulfillment, and ultimately greater happiness and joy. So that's what I'm taking this opportunity to do, just kind of reflect on what I've learned so I can invest that knowledge in the coming years. One of the things that's been most fundamental to me, and of course this probably isn't earth-shattering right now or shocking to hear, because it's a topic that's on a lot of people's minds, a lot of people share all the time, is the power of gratitude. It took me a long time. I had to hear it many times. It took me a long time to make it a regular practice in my life. And to be honest, there were a couple times, even in this last year, where I would sway away from that and I wouldn't leverage gratitude in my life. And unfortunately, I had to experience the effects of it, the negative effects of it. But gratitude is such an incredible thing because it helps keep our mindset in the right place. And I've done videos before about the neurochemistry and about what's going on in our body and kind of how it is such a good thing or why it's such a good thing and many different ways to use it. But what I remember, and I always try to remember, is be grateful, not just for the things around you, but in your journey, be grateful for the steps that you've already taken to get where you are. Maybe you're not as far as you want, maybe you're not experiencing as much as you want or having the successes that you want, or you're still dealing with some challenges or frustrations that have been coming up for a while, but be grateful because you still have grown, you still have learned, you still have experienced some things that have made you that individual that you are right now. So many different things to be grateful for, but if we can be grateful for that journey that we've had, the things that we've survived, the steps that we have taken to become the person that we are, then we can invest that in continuing that journey and continuing that growth. Another thing that's been incredibly important in my life. So I really look at my life in two different phases. There was a time in my life where I was full of stress, full of anxiety, constantly trying to run away from pain or disappointment or fill a void inside of me by engaging in many things that were beyond me, pursuits that were beyond me. When I changed that and built a life around a foundation of service or a foundation of doing things in the service of other people or finding ways to impact and influence other people, then my whole life really changed. And now I didn't have that tremendous void inside that I was trying to run away from or something that I was trying to fix within me or some drastic need to prove myself. And that all really came when, instead of thinking about myself or thinking of something external that I could chase or do or acquire or some way to prove myself, when I started thinking about how I can serve other people, then everything, it built a whole different foundation. There's a quote, I love this quote, it says, "Plant trees under whose shade you do not intend to sit." If we can do some more of that in our life, if we can bring more acts of service or kindness or generosity in any of its many forms, if we can do things and commit actions just for the benefit it will bring to another person, so many things in your life will get better and so many things in your life will change for the positive. So finding and building a foundation of service has been critical in my life and something I'm going to continue to work on for the next decades of the coming years. I highly recommend that you find something that you are passionate about. If you do engage in more service, as you invite more service into your life, find that thing that you are most passionate about, because you will get the greatest return for that investment of your time, but you will also be putting the best of yourself, the best of your energy, the best of your contribution into whatever that thing is that you're serving. Don't feel like you need to serve anything if you're not passionate about it. Find the thing that you are passionate about and find your own unique way to contribute to that. And it's not just, contribution and service. It's not just about money. It's not just about, it can be anything. It can be a time that you invest. It can be just, taking the time to become aware of something so you can spread the word about it. So you can help influence other people to contribute to making that difference with that cause. But find that thing that you're most passionate about, because you'll provide the best service to it. You'll make the greatest contribution to the world, and you'll help people the most. All right, the next thing that has been fundamental in my life is learning to admit mistakes. Admit the things that we didn't do as well as we could have. Admit the times that we did things that we shouldn't have, or did things in a way that we shouldn't have. Admit the mistakes that maybe we didn't prepare enough for something, and therefore we didn't perform on it the way that we want. If we can be honest with ourselves and look at the times that we made mistakes, or the times that we didn't perform our best, or didn't do something the way that we wanted to, or the way that we felt we should, if we can admit those mistakes, then we can get them out in the open. We can get them out from controlling our life, and we can drastically reduce the chance that we'll continue to do those things in the future. So if we can admit those mistakes and not deny them, and not try to hide them, then they won't continue to affect us, and therefore it won't hold us back from those things that we want to experience in the future, which feeds into allowing us to be ambitious but also content. So my mentor Jim Rohn says, be ambitious but content. So find that balance between being content and being happy with what you have, and being grateful for the things that you have, and being grateful for the journey that you've been on, and the progress and the growth that you have made. Be happy, so you be content, so you can be happy in the moment. But be ambitious. Try to reach for things. Try to stretch. Try to make yourself continue to grow and do more, and become more capable and experience more. You've been given an incredible opportunity. This human life, this experience that we have, is such an incredible opportunity. We've beaten so many odds to get where we are. We've done so many things well and so many things correctly, and there's so many things conspiring to help us and support us. We should leverage those things so that we can continue to grow, continue to experience more, and continue to become more. But do that, again, with that balance for being content where you are. Too many times we get wrapped up in that next goal or that next achievement, and we beat ourselves up for not making the growth, not making the progress that we want to, or not being further along in our path, in our journey, than what we presently are. And that only creates disempowerment, or it kind of steals our energy, fills us with negative energy, and slows us down. If instead we can be content, be grateful for the journey that we've made and how far we've come, then that will just help us continue to grow and become even better in the future. These are just some of the things that I've reflected on that have really touched me in the last years and this last year of my life, that I plan to focus on and invest in the future to help this next year, help my 39th year be even more incredible than my last year, and set myself up for even better years in the future. But it doesn't have to be your birthday to do this kind of reflection and look back over your life and learn, take those lessons that you've learned to invest them. You can do it at any time. You can do it, so today it's January 16th, it's a Thursday. No reason not to spend some time today reflecting over things that you've learned, things that you value, and things that will help you invest in tomorrow. Because anytime we do that, we can make those fine-tuned adjustments, and we can make those changes, we can make those course corrections, and put ourselves on a path to achieve even greater fulfillment, even greater success, and even make a greater contribution while experiencing happiness and joy. So thanks for checking this out. I just want to share a couple things, not just with you, but I'll probably go back and watch this video in a couple months and help remind myself of these things that I'm reflecting on today, so that I can bring myself back to, investing in these things that I value and that will make a difference in my life. If you want to catch me later today and learn a little bit more about my professional journey, I'll be on a webinar this afternoon with with the Flourishing Center, which is an institution that I went to and got a certificate of applied positive psychology, and I've spent some time applying this positive psychology and what I've learned, the tools that I've learned, investing that in helping people that are in addiction recovery, people that have struggled with addictions. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about that, you can catch us live today, and if you're watching this as a replay, then you can click the link below and catch a replay of that webinar as well. You can learn what applied positive psychology and addiction recovery have to do with one another and how I'm using that in my work and in my professional life. Thanks for checking out this video. I hope you are having a great one. You be well, and we'll catch you in the next one.